Hi guys, everyone, Hardcore Gamer here, posting on behalf of Outbound Projects, and welcome back to part number 16 of How to Terraria. So in part 14 we entered hard mode, and in part 15 we went looking for all the bits of equipment that we need to make a magic spell called the Golden Shower, which is going to be particularly useful for our first boss fight, which is going to be the Destroyer. The Destroyer is basically a giant mechanical worm that fires off probes, and he's incredibly powerful, so the Golden Shower is particularly good because it deals multiple hits and it is very, very useful. So if you're wondering how to make that, by all means go back and watch the previous episode, number 15, and we'll talk you through how to do that, because it's almost essential, I find, in the Destroyer boss fight. So we're going to load up the game, and we're still playing as Akira in Green Hill Zone. So the first thing I'm going to want to do is summon in Slippy, because no game is the same without Slippy. So let's see if he's around. Come on, Slippy. Hello, are you ready to go and beat the Destroyer with me? Yeah, I think that was a yes, so he's ready. So first things first, we're going to head down into the armory, which is over here, and down into the hole that I built down here. And we're going to equip ourselves the titanium armor, which is going to be particularly helpful because it's nice and powerful. And that is that. So as you can see, the titanium armor now grants us 51 defense when it's in conjunction with the rest of the stuff I've got going on there. The full set bonus makes you immune from one hit. So if you manage to get a successful hit off, you sort of split into three, and the next hit you take doesn't actually do any damage, so that's very good. And it's nice and protective for us, so that's good. The next thing I need to do is I need to get all the ingredients that we actually need to make the mechanical worm, which is what's going to summon in the Destroyer. And what you need for that is you need 6 vertebrae. I'm going to take double of everything because I want to make 2. We need 6 souls of night. If you're wondering where they come from, again, episode 15, you'll be able to find out. And we need 5 gold iron bars, I beg your pardon. So in order to actually make the mechanical worm, we need to use the mithril anvil here. And there they are. So we now have 2 mechanical worms. It's not quite night time yet. When night time comes around, I'll be able to summon in and hopefully defeat him first time. Something else to note, in between episodes, Leela the steampunker arrived, and she sells all manner of different awesome items, such as the Clemtaminator, which you actually use to change entire biomes. I think it's 60 blocks at a time. Converts things like wood biome into mushroom biome. It completely gets rid of the corruption. So if at some point I want to go back there and get rid of all this corruption that's spreading across the land, then I can do that quite easily with the Clemtaminator. Unfortunately, I haven't got the achievement for letting the 90% of the world get corrupted or whatever it is. So I'm not going to do that. I'm actually going to let it get corrupted, which might take a while, but it is essential for me to get that achievement, and I really want it. Some of the other things she sells is the jetpack, pretty self-explanatory. Teleporters, again, makes it quite easy to traverse long distances, saves me running around like an idiot. Green solution used with contaminator cogs, etc. So yeah, we'll have a better look at her next time. One more thing I want to mention is that I actually found a sword which was just dropped by a standard enemy down in the Underground Crimson, and that is called the Beam Sword, which does 61 damage, I think, and fires off that lovely sword thing whenever you use it. So that's nice and powerful. I mean, there is much, much better ones like Excalibur and Knight's Blade and things like that, which are a lot better at this point in the game, but for now, that's better than nothing. So we're going to take a look at the Battle Arena. I probably should have built this a little bit further away from Cassadi Bend than this, because unfortunately I think some of my thingies might take damage, NPCs, but hopefully that won't happen. I'm just going to nip back up to my room because I need some health potion really, and I haven't actually got any. I thought I had some. So I'm hoping I've got some saved in here. Yep, we've got 30 of them. That should be more than enough. So I'm going to equip that into my top slot just in case I do take a lot of damage, which I probably will because the Destroyer is particularly powerful. So the reason I built the arena like this, the stone at the top and bottom will protect you from the laser attacks that each section of the Destroyer set off. So if he does his big looping thing, then he'll fire down upon me, and if I'm stood here, they won't get me. In the middle I've left it like this because if he decides to go up and above me, I can also fire that straight up, and that will do multiple hits up and on the way down. And I'm really sorry, Mr. Squirrel, I didn't actually mean to do that. I do apologise, no animals were hurt in the making of this video. So I think it's night time, so we'll go ahead and summon in the Destroyer. So he's probably going to come sweeping across the bottom from left to right, I would imagine. Oh, nope, he's going to go straight up. There we go. So this is a good example of what I was saying before. If I fire straight up, that will do damage above and below. Those probe things used to be a very big problem when I was trying to beat him melee style, because they do an awful lot of damage as well. But fortunately, they do also drop health and things. So, and also mana stars. So when I start to run out of mana, I can use that. So yeah, that's particularly good. So now they're a bit more of a godsend than an actual pain, to be honest. So the Destroyer, you will take almost constant hits off him, and the reason for that is because he's huge and he tends to trap you, like he has done here. And I'm taking an awful lot of damage, so I'm going to take a potion just to be on the safe side. Even though there's all them hearts there, I'll save them. In fact, no I won't, because I am taking tons and tons of damage. Hopefully that should give me pretty much a full set of health. And it's just a case of constantly pouring on hits to him, which is what the Golden Shower does, which is why I think it's so essential for this boss fight, because it literally just pours on damage like there's no tomorrow. Even though I've just run out of mana, and it does help when you've got lots of mana. So yeah, I find it much easier with this. I have beaten melee as well, but my god, it was an absolute nightmare, and it's not something I would recommend to anybody, because it was incredibly difficult. Hopefully there's a mana star knocking about. Yep, and while he's looping straight up, I'm really conscious that he's close to the house though, unfortunately, which is not what I want, because he might start killing my NPCs just like that, and the nurse just got slain. Bloody hell. I was hoping that wouldn't happen, but unfortunately it has, and there's not much I can do about it now. Thankfully there will be more nurses. Well, I hope there will be anyway, otherwise I'm kind of screwed. And yeah, as you can see, trying to do this with anything other than the Golden Shower is just incredibly difficult. And like I say, I would not recommend that to anybody. The Golden Shower is without a doubt, in my mind, the best way to actually do it. And he can't have much left in him, surely, because he has took an awful lot of damage. Mind you, so have I. I should probably use another potion, but no, I think I'll hold off for now. Another thing to note is, if you can, it's always a good idea to try and finish the Destroyer off while he's above ground. Otherwise, the hallowed bears and things that he drops sometimes drop below ground, and you can't actually find them, which makes the fight kind of pointless, really. I'm going to use a potion here because it looks like I'm not going to last too much longer. So again, using the tactic of firing straight up, at least until I run out of mana anyway. Do some attacks with a sword. He surely has got to be dead pretty soon. There can't be much left in him. So yeah, this is basically the Destroyer fight in a nutshell. It isn't particularly difficult to manoeuvre around his attacks, but it is difficult to sort of basically destroy him because of the amount of power he's got. I think he has something like 80,000 HP, which is an awful, awful lot. And I've run out of bloody mana again. And this is not a good spot to be in down here. I really want to be back in the battle arena if I can help it. Oh, never mind, he's dead anyway. Right, so yeah, that could have gone better. So he actually dropped the Soul of Might, Hallowed Bears, and some Greater Healing Potion. Soul of Might is used to make some of the weapons in hard modes that are particularly good to use. He also dropped Greater Healing Potion that is 150 life, so I'm going to equip that for the next one. And what else did he drop? Oh, Hallowed Bears, more importantly. If I kill him twice, I should hopefully have enough Hallowed Bears to make a full set of Hallowed Armour, which is the goal of this particular episode. Don't really need any of this other stuff. Right, so while it's night time, I'm going to summon him in again and hopefully beat him a second time. If not, it's not the end of the world, I suppose. So we're going to start by pouring on loads of hits on him while he's... Oh, it's always better when he loops around like that because you're getting multiple hits off him from different points, and he's already summoned in a shed load of probes. I need to wait until some of them get closer because I've run out of mana. There we go. Yep, so the same thing as before. Hopefully the probes will drop lots and lots of hearts for us to use. Like now, because I've just took an awful lot of damage again. And I'm going to go ahead and keep firing straight up if I can help it. But he's not giving me much of a chance to do it, so I'm just going to have to go across. And we're going to switch because... hopefully that'll hit more of the segments and do more damage while he's over that side. And I've run out of mana again. I hope that probe drops some. Nope. Ah, no, this is definitely not where I want to be right now. I could do with getting some more probes out. Like that. And hopefully they will drop mana when I kill them. Fingers crossed. Yep, so we now have full mana, thank goodness. Outside of the battle arena isn't where I want to be really, because his laser attacks will get me from here. Again. Oh my good god, yeah, I need to get back in the battle arena, get rid of some of these probes and health up again. And continue pouring on the pain, basically. I'm not sure where that pixie dust came from, but I'm going to collect that anyway. I don't think I've any particular use for it, but not to worry, it's not the end of the world. So yeah, like I was saying, the fact with the probes not being here, unfortunately, I would have been inflicted with a lot of damage, and I would have to like basically dodge his attacks while my mana regenerates, which is not good because it does take quite a while to do, especially if you're just taking constant hits in the meantime. So I'm going to nip over here, get those hearts and that mana. Try and see off these probes and fire off straight up again while he's looping over. Oh, didn't see the wrath on this guy here. But luckily they came along because they've now refreshed my mana again. And yeah, so like I say, he's incredibly, incredibly strong as far as bosses go. So it's just a case of just being constant with him, because there's not a great deal else you can do. And I have just run out of bloody mana again. Hopefully if I attack him here, you'll see some probes will come off him and I'll be able to get my mana back, but it doesn't really matter because it's pretty much regenerated anyway. Typical, now that a load of probes arrive. So yeah, again, it's just a case of you don't actually get to see much of a health meter with him, so it is a guessing game really. The worst thing that could happen is for him to die when he's below ground, because I believe all the stuff that he drops comes from the head, and if the head's below ground you can lose it all, unfortunately, which is not what we want, obviously. Back to near enough full mana again, so I'm hoping he's going to come up from underneath me and go straight up, fingers crossed. And that'll do. Well, that'll have to do. I didn't have much of a choice, did I? So once again, he can't possibly have that much health left, especially with the amount of damage he's taking. Should be nearly dead, you would have thought. Maybe not. See off the probe. I'm going to grab these hearts because I didn't realise how close to death I actually was, and I am actually quite close. There we go, and he's dead. Question is, where did he die? Where did all the stuff get dropped? That's something that I didn't want to happen. I didn't want him to actually die anywhere other than near the arena, especially with his head underground, because everything that he drops will just disappear basically. And I think, unfortunately, that is what's happened. Even if I look on the map, I won't actually be able to see where the halo bears and everything that he will drop goes. Well, that's a bloody pain. I haven't already picked him up. No, right, okay. That's not the end of the world, I suppose. Unfortunately, I don't have enough stuff to actually summon him in again. I'm just going to have another double check all around here to see if anything got dropped anywhere locally. Nope, that is very unfortunate. That's exactly not what I wanted to happen. Because now, unfortunately, that was a bit of a waste of time, really. Not to mention, I'm going to have to go and mine and do all kinds of other stuff to get all the materials back to beat him again. So I'm just going to have a quick look in this cavern in case it did end up down here. Oh, didn't mean to use that potion there. I'm going to quickly mine across because it would have been in this general area and we'll be able to see it pretty clearly on screen. Something I do think should happen is I do think you should be able to see it from the map screen. You know, if anyone drops anything like that. And actually I'm a bit low here. I don't think he would have come that low. Yeah, unfortunately I think we just that was just a bit of bad luck. I don't think he was really over here. Nope. It's a good idea to keep an eye on where the head is, but of course it's kind of hard when you're on the verge of dying every 5 seconds. But yeah, safe to say we've definitely lost all that stuff. Well, that's a bit of a kick in the teeth, but at least we got some Soul of Might out of him the first time round. I'm going to go ahead and dump those in my chest with all the rest of my stuff. And what I'm going to have to do is I'll probably cut episode a little short here and go ahead and get all the materials to go and kill him again. In fact, no, with the remainder of the video, I'll actually do that while you're on. So you can actually see where the materials come from that you need to make the mechanical worm. So we're going to head off into the corruption, or the newly formed corruption, should I say, which is at the far left of the world here. And we're going to head down into the corrupt cabins and start seeing off some of the enemies down there, and they will drop, hopefully, Souls of Knights. So we need 6 of those. It shouldn't take too long for us to farm. Also, if I come across any, what do you call it, any iron ore, I will take that as well, because we also need some iron bears. I think I've run out. Or maybe I've only got one left, something like that, which is not enough. And finally, while we're in the corruption, I might actually go to the other corruption because it's bigger. The one on the right hand side of the world. We also need some vertebrae, which is dropped by some of the original enemies from the Crimson before entering hard mode. Because unfortunately, I don't think the enemies in hard mode, like the hairping and other things like that, will actually drop them. Although we drop one. That's the sort of thing I need. I need the spiders and I need the face demons and things like that. Crim slimes, which are the hard mode Crimson enemies, don't actually drop them, I don't think. At least I haven't seen anyone drop any, so that's not going to be a problem. That's not going to help. And oh, I wonder if that's iron there. It doesn't look like iron. No, it's platinum. Unfortunately, I don't need platinum. Quite a few episodes ago, that would have been an absolute godsend. Oh, there's some iron. Not a lot of it, but some nonetheless. And what's this here? I wonder if that's iron. Yep, more iron, so hopefully this should be enough. And did I see any there as well? Don't know, but I can't see anything. What's this? Iron, yeah, so hopefully that should be enough iron, so that's another thing we can check off the list. Let's see how much oil we've got. 18, yeah, that should be enough, I think. Considering we already have one bear anyway. If not, if that's iron, I'll take some of that just on the off chance. Yep, we'll just take a big chunk of this. That's definitely enough. Right, so we're going to head down into the Crimson Underground. You'll be able to tell the difference because the sand that surrounds it will be like a pinky colour. Have I gone the wrong way here? I think I may possibly have gone the wrong way. No, here we go. So these creatures, like the elementals there, as long as they're in the vicinity of, I think it's 200 or more of the blocks here, the pinky coloured blocks, they will produce Souls of Night. So this looks like a particularly good area. Floaty Ghost. Didn't drop anything. These pigron things are kind of funny really, because sometimes when you kill them they emit like a loud groaning noise, which is exactly the same as the one you would hear when you summon in a boss. And I don't know if you noticed there, but they actually drop some Souls of Night. So I now have 2, which means I only need 4. Icors, or Ichor stickers, which is what they were, just happen to be the enemies that you have to kill to get the Ichor in order to make the Golden Shower, which is what I'm using. So you might notice that if they fire at me, they'll be using the same projectiles. Just something interesting for you. So it's just a case of... oh, a Mimic. Oh, brilliant. Mimics usually drop really good bits of stuff if you can kill them. But they are quite powerful. So he dropped a Flower of Frost, was that? Which would be a very powerful magic weapon, I would imagine. But I'll take a look at that when I'm not getting killed. So yeah, I'm still collecting these Souls of Night. Let's see how many I've got now. 3. I'm going to stick them up there so I can see how many I've got. And the mechanic has just arrived. Did the steampunk get killed? I can't remember. Something else I need to check out when I go back. Hopefully these guys will drop some souls. That guy did. That's helpful. Oh, I didn't mean to fall into here. But it's okay because they dropped one as well. So we now have 5. So we just need 1 more now. And hopefully I'll get that before I die if I can actually get out of here. What is going on? Where is the gap? There it is. Right. Good stuff. So hopefully 1 more enemy should give us that final... Oh, I was shooting at it and it's actually a dart trap that got me there. Turtles. I absolutely hate these things because they do these stupid spinning attack thing at you that does an awful lot of damage even with a good armour. And we have a cursed sword here and a digger. And that dropped us our final soul. So now, all we need to do is get some vertebrae, I believe. Yep, I need 4 more vertebrae, and then we'll have enough to summon in the destroyer. And hopefully this time I won't lose the stuff that he drops. And we'll be able to go ahead and make a hallowed armour. So this episode was supposed to be quite quick. It's actually becoming a bit of a chore, but unfortunately it's just something that needs to be done. So back to the Crimson we go. Thankfully the titanium armour is nice and powerful anyway, so there's not much chance of me dying too quickly. Traversing the entire world pretty much from left to right just to get all these bits of kit. This is why I did it between episodes, because I knew that it wouldn't be particularly interesting to watch. Jungle slime. Angry Trapper. Oh, Blood Crawler. Now they're the sort of things that actually do drop vertebrae, so hopefully you might drop one. And you're a bit low, happy. But unfortunately no. Oh, Steampunker has arrived. So yeah, the Steampunker must have died last time. Oops. I really do need to shift that battle arena a little bit further away from the home, but never mind. So, yep, those Chimera and things, other than the Hairpings, are good because they drop vertebrae. Just going to quickly equip that up there so I can see how many I've got. And I didn't realise I was just about to die. Yeah, I did take quite a lot of damage there, unfortunately. And we still need 3 more vertebrae. So I tend to find that things do sort of spawn in quicker. Oh, I don't know what that was, but I killed it and it dropped one. When you are around the mouth of the cavern, the Crimson Cavern. So I'm going to linger around this area and hopefully they'll spawn in pretty quickly. Only getting rid of him because he drops coins and I'm going to take the coins anyway. Good stuff, this is what we need. We need more blood crawlers and things like that. Just 2 more vertebrae. And we will be able to go and summon in the Destroyer again. And this time I'll take better care to make sure that we actually get the stuff he drops as opposed to just losing it. I seem to remember that was a bit of a problem last time because the Destroyer is one of the quicker ways of getting the Hallowed Armour. But you do tend to lose it quite often, the Hallowed Bears. So, just 1 more vertebrae. Is he going to be the one to drop it? Nope. Actually, I might head down into here because you do tend to get quite a lot of blood crawlers spawning when you're down here. I suppose it's not the end of the world because it's daytime now, so I've just realised that even if I do manage to get all the ingredients and make the mechanical eye, I might actually have to wait until night time anyway. So at least you guys who didn't know where to find the stuff or how to make the golden shower and stuff like that will at least have an idea now. So I'd say it's not been a complete and total loss, really. Why? Usually there's tons of stuff spawning down here. Of course, because I actually need them to, that means that nothing will. Usually the way. Don't want toxic sludges. I don't want any of these enemies. I want blood crawlers or face monsters. Because they will drop the vertebrae. And the others, the Herdmore ones, won't. So there doesn't appear to be a great, fantastic deal going on down here. So I'm going to head back up to the surface because there seems to be a higher spawn rate down there. Never know, we might come across some blood crawlers or whatever on the way back up. Or face monsters, either way is good. Or maybe not. It's just bloody typical, isn't it? Hey. So yeah, I was hoping this episode would be a little bit more exciting than this, but unfortunately it's turned out to be a bit of a dud. I hope you took some of the tactics that I gave you on beating the Destroyer to heart, because they do come in handy. Get rid of him for the sake of it. Come on, I was doing alright until about a minute ago. Oh, face monster, please drop a vertebrae. Yes, right, so we're going to warp back home. And unfortunately it is the middle of the day, so I'm not going to be able to summon in the Destroyer on this particular episode. But it's not the end of the world. What we'll do is I will use all the stuff and make the mechanical worm. So at least we have the means to summon him in for the next episode. Oh, yep, sorry, I forgot to smelt the ore, didn't I? That's not going to help. So we need to go to the blocks. And yeah, we've got more than enough there. That's great. So yeah, we now have another mechanical worm. Slippy, come on Slippy, what are you doing down there? Silly worm. So the one thing we will do before I do leave is we will have a word with the guide and have a look what Hello Bears will actually make. There he is. So you guys will be able to know, because I'll probably have it equipped already by next episode anyway. So he is going to tell us that we can make the pickaxe axe, which it does require a few different souls to make, and that only does 45 damage. We can make the Gungnir, the Hallowed Repeater, Light Disc, and Excalibur. Excalibur is one of the more powerful weapons in the game. and you do combine that with a couple of other swords to make things like the True Excalibur and other things like that, which are very, very powerful. So the Hallowed Armour, the Greaves give you 11, the Plate Mail gives you 15, and the Mask gives you 24. So it's not massively better than the stuff we're already using, but it is better without a doubt and does need doing. So I'm going to cut this episode a little bit short and I'm going to leave it here. So from myself, the A1 Hardcore Gamer, posting on behalf of Outbound Projects, Slippy the Slime, and our guide, who says, they say there's a person who will tell you how to survive this land. Oh wait, that's me. You've said that a few times, so let's ask you something else. Epstone in the Corruption can be purified using some powder from the Dryad, or can be destroyed with the explosives, or you can actually buy the device from the Steampunker and use that. But either way is good. So yeah, thanks for watching the video, guys. Stay tuned for part 17, where we're going to use our Hallowed Armour, and hopefully we're going to go and tackle the Twins, which is the mechanical version of the Eye of Cthulhu.